Scott Beesley, head coach with Souls Inspired. Here today to talk a little bit about strength training for endurance athletes. So whether you're a half marathoner, Ironman triathlete, or expedition length adventure racer, I feel there's a great place in your training plan for strength training. And the number one reason, the biggest cause that we would include strength training into any endurance sport training program is for injury prevention, first and foremost. By having strong, stable muscles holding your pelvis and other joints in place, you're more likely to avoid injuries that occur from the repetitive stress of an endurance sport training program. When you look at the videos that are coming forward, if you're on Facebook, they're going to come as a regular stream here on the Souls Inspired fan page. If you're on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to the Souls Inspired page so that you can get those updates as we upload those. We're going to break them down in three different categories for you. The first category you'll see that's going to be led by me are functional strength training exercises geared towards stabilization. Stabilization, incredibly important to help avoid those injuries. So these will not be huge dynamic exercises working on big muscles like your chest, quads, and hamstrings. These are going to be exercises targeting specifically smaller muscles used to stabilize your pelvic girdle and some of those more injury-prone joints like shoulders and knees. That'll be the first part. The third part in our series is actually going to deal with more Olympic lifting movements. And you might wonder, why on earth would we prescribe Olympic lifting movements to endurance athletes? Well, the reason we would do something like that is because the movements that we do as swimmers, bikers, runners, trekkers occur very much in a linear pattern. So turning the pedals around and around in the same motion over and over. When we talk about functional movements like we are in the first series, we're going to talk about things like how to mimic those same patterns. So as an example, a squat will encourage you to narrow your stance, point the toes more forward than you probably learned in your high school weightlifting class or with any other team sport you've had. We do that because it more closely mimics the cycling motion. On the other hand, when we talk about Olympic lifts and those type of movements, we're doing exactly the opposite. We're trying to work the muscles in ways that we're not working them when we swim, bike, and run, for the sole purpose of not building up an overdeveloped set of muscles in any one set of movement patterns. Each of these have their place in an endurance sport training program, but as we come into the off season here in the Midwest, starting to get a little bit colder outside, trees are losing their leaves and snow will be flying. Now is the ideal time to regroup, build a little bit of strength, incorporate some of that into your training program, and work on injury prevention. Now, between those two extremes of very focused stabilizing exercises and Olympic type movements, you'll see we have another video series headed up by our very own Coach K, run coach with Souls Inspired, and he'll incorporate a little bit of both, and you'll see kind of his hybrid approach to managing strength training for his athletes, both runners and multi-sport athletes. So again, stay tuned on Facebook or subscribe to the YouTube channel. Plenty of exercises coming your way.